It's time to head to the Northeast and the biggest douchebag sports fans on the planet.
Tim goes back and has room, and somebody threw something out of the stands. It's a bottle of water.
Pro Motocross is at the Wick, and the mass holes are ready. So crack open a Boston Lager and get ready to race. With these dumbasses on the Big 49.
And here we are. It is the Boston area for today in Pro Motocross at the Wick in the sand. And gentlemen, it is myself. It is Motoman Jason from HYR. We got no tracker on Bookie Kyle as of today, but have you guys got your picks ready? Are you ready to do that?
I do have my picks.
I'm pretty much ready.
Yeah, I got
Missing
mine.
one,
and by the way, today's a hard one because it is a sand track, and there's that element to it. I think it flips it up a little bit. Is Hunter Lawrence, how banged up is he? I know the guy had a rib injury. That crash last week did not help that at all, as he was just coming back from that. So there's some things in there. And is it time for Jet to lose? That's the big questions.
Well, I want to give a shout out right now to our friends over at Liquid Death.
Good stuff.
Good stuff, and Ghost Energy Drink, and our friends over at Kettle Chips for providing us breakfast this morning.
They keep
The breakfast of champions.
They keep us stocked. I'm doing the salt and fresh ground pepper Kettle Chips this morning.
Oh, dude, you know what I got the other day? At Target, I got Liquid Death. I bought some at Target. They had the peach flavor. The peach flavor is very hard to find, by the way.
It's very good, though.
Yeah, and so when I was in Target and I saw that, and I'm like, oh, that's the really good peach one, the rested peach. So I got that flavor at Target the other day, and it does not disappoint. That's really good stuff, man.
Well, it's kind of nice. But it's early. It's early racing.
It is.
And I got two ghosts sitting in front of me.
You do have two ghosts. That'll keep you up.
That's going to keep
That'll keep you going.
Keep you wrong.
That'll keep you rocking.
Spinning the wheel.
Now that I have switched real jobs, and we're very fancy there, and there's no like dumb shittery going on. It's not like the Big 49. Like we have a really nice break room with really big Sub-Zs in it and stuff like that. I'm able to keep my energy drinks in the fridge at work, and no one touches them. So I always keep like 3 or 4 ghosts in there in case I get dragging ass during the middle of the week and all.
Wow,
and it's so nice.
You're the new person there, though, right?
No. I've been there for 5 years.
Yeah,
I just have been part-time for the last few.
He's not the FNG, if that's what you're going after.
That's what
but I'm also the only guy there that carries a gun at all times, so I'm pretty sure no one's going to F with me.
Yeah.
As I walk there, like, don't steal that. That's the dude with the gun. Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah, he's not the FNG.
Yeah.
He's been
I've been there I've been there for a long time, even though I've been part-time only for the last couple of years, but now I am back full-time at my old place, and it is nice, though, to have a nice... Okay, and here's what's weird. I like the Ghost Energy. When it's really cold, it's better.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like a really cold, like apple one or watermelon. There's nothing better, man.
We keep the fridge here at 33 degrees.
Oh, it's perfect.
33 degrees is perfect. It's right before freezing.
So did you not like your other job, or what? What happened?
No. I did not like it, and I did not like the people I worked with.
He wasn't fitting the thong very well. The problem is he wasn't getting the tip money that he thought he was getting, so...
Start getting chunky.
Why'd you do it for so long?
Because, they promised him all these, visions of grandeur, like champagne room dances, Arab sheiks,
hot dudes.
Arab sheiks throwing money at you left and right. Next thing you know, he goes in there and he put him on the day shift.
And you know what? You know what's hard to do that? You know what hurts? Getting hit with a quarter. Like you're like, whoa, that hurt. Like, and then paper cuts on your junk. It's all bad.
It's all bad. So,
people start throwing nickels at you, man. It hurts.
Yeah. I actually went in one day. I thought it was giving him. I thought I was going to give Stretch a tip. So I walked in with a roll of nickels and threw that at him. But I threw it at him full force.
Could you imagine? Could you imagine how bad that would hurt?
A roll of nickels.
I figured that's how you guys met. I thought you went in there to go broadcast for them.
Oh, wow.
Well, they originally hired the radio station to come in and do a show. And then that's how I met Stretch. So he started off as the bouncer, and he ended up working as the dancer.
Right.
Yeah. I had bigger boobs than all the girls they had, so they're like, well, we may as well use that guy.
So I was rather amazed.
They say Stretch ever put makeup on or what?
If you've ever seen the movie Kingpin,
I'm natural.
If you ever seen the movie Kingpin, that was the story.
Okay.
That was basically the story. So when he was up there trying to earn a few bucks.
Wow.
So now he's back in his now he's back in his old job.
Call
Yeah.
you Munson.
No, also
Don't Munson this.
The work ethic of my coworkers was left a lot to be desired. Whereas I'm a dude that works and works and works and works.
Tranny
my
dancer-
coworkers didn't work.
Tranny dancers on the dance floor, Stretch. I mean, they're not exactly
You working
gonna-
it?
You should be professional.
They're
I don't
not
care what you're doing. You need to be professional about it.
They're not exactly going to be, go getters.
Tell me that.
They're
They
tranny
definitely were
dancers on the
not.
dance floor.
They definitely were not. I'm your private dancer, dancer for money. Wow. So here we are on our picks for today. Now that we're back on the radio, we got. You know what? I have upsets in both the 250 and 450 class, and my picks, not to tip my hat, but I do not have your number one red plate holders winning either division today.
I do, and only because of the fact that the Lawrence brothers at Southwick, if you paid attention to, if history's
Killing
been
it.
a lesson to us on the Lawrence brothers, Southwick is a lot like their home tracks in Australia where they originally started growing up riding.
They're
So
also MXGP dudes.
these kids know how to ride in the sand.
I'm gonna say-
they get sand for
Yeah.
no problem.
I'm going to say Hunter probably learned a lesson on starts.
yes.
He's not going to not get a whole shot this
He's
time.
not going to hold. Yeah, Hunter's
Yeah.
going to hole shot even when he's injured. He hole shots.
Did you see the picture? I saw a picture of his arm sticking out,
Yeah.
and
Oh, he's trust me. Hunter's he's gonna put on a show today.
like how that really went
He
down. in that
has
start.
to because
Yeah.
he's
Nobody really
banged up.
knows, really.
Now, the one that everyone needs to talk about today, not so much the Lawrence brothers, because if you're not predicting the Lawrence brothers to take a win on this one, you're probably not on the right side of the fence. But
that's me today.
The one to watch today is going to be one Mr. Hayden Deegan, only because he's done so well for being a first year in the pros, and look at what he's done so far. But
Yeah.
Southwick is going to be a whole different level of sport.
You know, it's weird. I do not have Hayden in my top 5.
And
Wow.
and Deegan did really well in the really bad conditions. Remember?
Yes, he did. But I've got him on my list today. But I'm just telling you, Deegan is one to watch. I looked at the results
I agree with
today.
you.
He's one to watch.
Here's what I'm doing, though, and to be honest with you, I really am now just looking for an angle to get the win. That's what I'm doing. I'm like, I'll lose big, or I will win in a fluke, because I'm trying to get the win in the home game here of our picks, and I'm just at some point, Jet can't win every effing moto. At some point, he has to lose.
That's what I
just
tried to do
Hunter
last
lost.
week, and it actually
Yeah.
worked out. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Okay.
So there's that. And then same thing this week with Deegan. Deegan, I don't want to say he's inconsistent, because the kid's number 2 in the points for a reason, because he's so consistent. But I don't know if I trust him to dominate on this track today. I'm looking at a lot of MXGP dudes to do well today, and that includes Jet and Hunter. I consider MXGP guys.
I'll throw it down right now. Hunter Lawrence, I got him number 1.
Okay.
All right, you're going Hunter 1? All
Hunter
right.
one.
Yep.
Okay.
So do I.
Levi Kitchen number 2.
Oh wow. Okay.
Levi didn't do good in qualifying, which threw me off of him for today, but
know.
go ahead.
Okay.
And I'm in between because I think Deegan might be number 2 also.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Okay. Wow.
So-
Did you read
Yeah.
my picks so far?
So
because I'm right now going Hunter, Deegan, Kitchen. I've got RJ and Viali.
And then I got
Yeah.
Cooper, RJ.
Okay, Cooper, RJ. So we're
All right.
very close.
All right.
We're dancing on the same campfire.
All right, go, Moto. What do you have then?
I got Hunter Lawrence, Hayden Deegan. I've got Levi Kitchen, RJ Hampshire, and Tom Bialy.
All right. What's weird for me, I have Cooper winning it all today, because I'm not. I don't want to hope this, but I'm thinking. My theory is that Hunter may be a little banged up from that. That was a big crash last week, and he thought he had a broken arm, and all of a sudden, no, you're fine. I don't think he's going to be fine, but I do have him at number 2 because he's still effing Hunter Lawrence. So I go Cooper, Hunter, then I have RJ at 3 because RJ's due back on the box. And then that local guy, that Dakotas, I'm going to go ahead and put him in there at 4. It's a long shot, but I think, this guy was impressive earlier. And then I'll take Vial at 5, another MXGP dude who is going to be good.
So
in
no
the
Kitchen.
sand. No, I don't have Kitchen on
Stretch,
there at all.
remember,
He won last week,
Remember,
didn't he?
Stretch doesn't like food. So,
yeah.
and that's what the chef is cooking.
No,
Some
I don't
good
like
food.
corny
He likes
Moto
fast
Man
food.
jokes is what it is. So I'm like, I got a bone against Levi because of Moto.
Stretch doesn't like food.
He likes fast food,
and
not
fast
stuff
food.
from the kitchen.
He doesn't like stuff from the kitchen. And Levi is a chef. Let's talk about what the chef is cooking. That's what I'm saying.
And by the way, I like Levi a lot, and he was spectacular last week in that second moto when he won it. There's a chance he's up there. I once again, I'm going for the win more than I'm going for common sense on my picks today. If you'll hear them out. You know what? I'll give you my 450s now. How about that?
Go
Where
for 450.
Where I do not have Jet at number 1, I have Jet at number 2. I have Dylan Ferrandis on the win today. I liked what I saw out of Dylan last week, kind of coming back into his own. I like this track for an MXGP dude with all the sand. And so I'm going to go Dylan Ferrandis, Jet Lawrence, then Chase at 3, then AP at 4, even though he didn't qualify all that great, and Adam C for my number 5.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm going with Jet Lawrence, number 1. I'm going Chase Sexton, number 2. Dylan Ferrandis, number 3. Adam Cianciarulo, number 4. Ty Masterpool at my number 5.
You shined AP on a sand track?
I've got AP right behind Ty Masterpool at number 6.
That's sacrilege.
Right there, number 6, AP.
So I don't have my number 5, but Jet Lawrence, number 1. Chase Sexton, Dylan Ferrandis, Ty Masterpool.
Okay.
And then I'm in between here. I'm AP and Anderson.
Anderson hasn't really lit up much yet.
I don't think he's gonna. I think he's just playing the points game,
Yeah.
trying to get into the Supercross, and it doesn't want to get hurt more.
I got to agree. So I probably will put
Yeah.
AP number 5.
Yeah, because the videos I've watched of Anderson out at Glen Helen where he's been training are insane. He is fast as F, dude. He is putting it down out there when they're filming him, at least. And I'm like,
and he
doesn't
knows
look like
that
he's doing that here. Yeah.
Understand, he knows that track inside and out. He knows it up and down, inside and out. And it's a completely different game when you're out there with 22 other riders that are all of your caliber.
But you also just have to get X amount of points to get into the big game at the end of the year, and I think that's these guys are playing mathematics right now more than they're playing the win game.
I think they've been playing mathematics all season long. I think Cooper Webb played mathematics all season long. I think that Cooper Webb had known about his exit from KTM probably middle of last year. Okay.
Yeah, if it's true, he did.
I think the bad blood between him and KTM happened when they moved that platform. They changed that platform and that frame, and he tried to put his foot down on it and say, "Don't change the frame." And they did, and Roger basically ran it down his throat and said, "You're going to ride the 2022.
Right.
I don't care what anybody says. Everybody's
and it
moved
was
to
a
this platform."
disaster year for him.
And it was a disaster year for him, and he was very upset about it. And then they came back, fixed a bunch of stuff in that 2022, gave him the 2023, and I have to say he's done rather well on that 2023 platform.
I think he's done great.
Yeah, they evolved it greatly over the year.
It's been a good platform for him in 2023, but I think that the line was drawn in the sand in 2021 for what we saw here in 2023.
Okay, and to judge this by our game, which is radio, how much of it is you got a guy that's a big star, and then you got a big boss with a big ego who is like, you know what, F you, no F you. And there's some ego there between him and Roger that created this separation. And you're right, it was over that platform of that bike in 2022 where it started. And now I think,
Well, especially over something like that, I think, because you're trying to ride that bike as fast as you can. It's a light,
Roger's
an injury of life right here. You can go through it.
One of the things I will say about the KTM group over there is Roger is clearly the star. He's clearly the star. He's got more rock star on him than anybody else.
He'll choke you from across the room just looking at you. I've seen it.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to just cast disparagement on anybody, but I am saying that the riders are not necessarily the stars. Roger's the star.
Yeah, and he's old school. He's
old school.
Do it my way.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Exactly. Yeah, he's an old school dude, and I think that's where that beef came from, and that's why Cooper's out. And I do actually agree that it's probably amicable. I believe that he was like, F you, I want to leave, and they're like, F you, you're not the star here, and they're like, all right, we'll just part ways now.
Yeah, well, I think the line had been drawn in the sand. As I said, 2021 drew that line in the sand. It was very clear. The plans were being put together from that point on. And it was just a matter of, all right, I'm going to stay on this platform.
Yeah.
You never quit a job until you've got another job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
So you draw, the line was drawn in the sand. I'm sure that Cooper already has plans or has worked out a plan of where he's going to go. That's going to get announced right before he goes to the motocross championships.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you he's going to show up at the championships on a completely different machine. Hopefully it's got a pull start.
Right.
And it says Marmaduke on it.
He could ride a KTM, though. I mean, he could because he's comfortable with it, but I don't think he will.
I don't think he will. I think he's going to pull up to the line on a Marmaduke with that new Tecumseh with that pull start that Jason's been working on. And I think it's going to be pretty badass.
It's very reliable.
It's very reliable.
That I've been working on?
Yeah, that you've been working on. By the way, does that thing
We're
cut?
designing it at HYR right now as we speak.
Does that thing cut and mulch at the
Let's
same
hit the
time?
backup button on that one.
Does that thing cut and mulch at the same time? Because
I would like a
it's got
mulching blade, for
It's got
sure.
a mulching blade, and I like the fact that it's got a variable deck on it. You know,
Hey guys, we're live on NBC right now.
Yep.
So if you don't have Peacock, you can get today's race on NBC TV, and it is started on NBC.
I'm watching it on NBC right now as
Yeah,
well.
so am I. So Bubba Stewart on there. Also, they stacked the deck broadcaster-wise. They got Bubba and they got Ricky today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like the curb feelers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
The curb feelers are the added bonus.
The curb feelers on the Marmaduke are definitely an added bonus, and I think that's going to go well. So, and that new pull start you've got on that new handle pull start,
That's
it's
smooth.
a smooth one. It's got a big ring on it. I like that. You know, it's not like the old Briggs where it's up with that little rubber thing you got to pull.
And we put the Adam C gloves on it.
You put the Adam C gloves on it. I like that. You know,
Dude, do they sell pull start mini bikes anymore? In all seriousness, the 5 horsepower pull start mini bikes with the lawnmower engine in them. Do they make those anymore?
yeah, you can still get yourself a little doodle bug.
Like an old one? I mean, are there new ones? Is what I'm saying. Do
No,
they have those?
they still make them. They still have them out there.
I have not seen one of those
Yeah.
in years, but because pit bikes are so
if
damn
you
cool.
if you
now.
go to Tractor Supply, Tractor Supply Hardware, they
There
sell
it
them.
is, right there.
Yeah,
yeah,
and
I
that's,
need one of those.
Yeah, he could be riding a Coleman too.
Coleman?
We didn't even talk.
Oh,
We didn't even talk about
Coleman's
Cooper.
coming into Supercross.
Yeah,
They've sold enough to make it into the competition.
We didn't even talk about Cooper going to a Coleman. I mean, that could be a whole different level right there.
Could you imagine?
Cooper goes to a Coleman.
Hey, what if you were like? I think Kenny Roxon did this. I think they hucked enough money at him to where he was like, okay, this is worth doing. And he took a brand that he knew he couldn't win it all on, but he could probably do pretty well on, and he already was familiar with it. I think he did that. What if you came with some crap like that and you just threw money at a dude and the dude goes, all right, I'm going to ride the Coleman, man. And
Trust me.
What do you
take the
mean fat
money.
tires? Yeah, it has fat tires.
Yes. I'm gonna race this bitch.
Trust me. After my conversation with Justin Barsha, if there's money on anything, he would get sponsored by Home Depot. He would get sponsored by Lowe's. He would
Yeah.
get sponsored by Coleman. If you gave Justin Barsha a Coleman and said, "Here's $10 million. I want you to race this in a race," he would do it.
I agree.
He would do it. He would be like, "All right, if the AMA will put the sticker on it, I'll jump it."
Yeah, and he'll go out there and then take people out and kick people over and do the Barsha thing, and next thing you know, he's on the podium.
Coleman might be the only way in because Tractor Supply. Think about this. You
That's
know?
what I'm saying.
Tractor Supply has, if they each have one,
Yeah.
that's 400 units or whatever.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
need.
yeah, that's for. I mean, Coleman definitely sells enough units. You know,
Oh God, that's
we
funny
go.
as hell. I'm serious.
I can see
Someone
Barsha
get to
out
it.
there. I can see Barsha ripping on a Coleman.
Big fat tires, no suspension.
By the way, you see Will on the TV right there, and she's
Whoa.
talking to Jet Lawrence right
I was
there.
just wondering
Yeah.
about her.
Yeah, she's talking to Jet Lawrence right now on the TV, and
See that thing in her
and-
ear? That's an AI.
and that's real. That's real Will
That's
right
an
there
AI
on
thing
TV.
going in her ear.
Oh, that's AI Will. Don't get us. Don't start trying to throw curveballs at us, Moto Man. That is
I'm
AI
just
Will.
saying that is
I can
the
see
real-
the digitalization around her head.
That is
she's
the
green
real-
screened out.
Yeah.
That's
See
the
that?
real deal glockenspiel, my friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Jet Lawrence, I'm going to go ahead and make a prediction that we have Jet Lawrence on the show next week.
All right, there.
Yeah, you get on the podium, we get you on the show, and Jet has been on every Monday, but last week when we had the Monday off, and then we had him back in the middle of the week.
We're not going to
Yeah.
have Dirk Diggler on a Coleman, but we
No,
will have
no.
Jet Lawrence.
We will have Jet
we
Lawrence.
definitely
Talk
will have
about
Jet
donuts
Lawrence
again. And his
next
brother.
week on the show.
Nice.
Bold prediction right there. That kid is fast as F. What's the answer to him? Like, what needs to happen to beat him?
The only person that'll ever beat Jet Lawrence is Jet Lawrence.
Like a crash?
So typically in the past, and this is where we talk about his maturity and we talk about his growth and how he's grown out of a lot of this behavior. But typically in the past, he's gotten very rambunctious. He has gotten extremely pushy, almost like Anderson, but not quite. And that's usually what's thrown him off the bars and got him into crashes.
In that zone now.
Yeah.
But he's not in that zone right now. Right now, he's in this mature zone that he can calculate situations, plan, plot, and ride.
But not really. Let's be honest.
No,
he's the whole shot king right now, and all he's doing is getting whole shots
No.
and then riding in clean air.
Now,
You know what I've noticed
he's-
is I've seen like 3 or 4 other riders now. Adam sees one.
Yep.
I think AP. I want a couple other guys have been going through the ruts, standing up,
Yep.
Yeah.
and not touching their feet down.
Well, Adam Cianciarillo has had to relearn how to ride the
They're
motorcycle
relearning
because
his style right
yes,
now.
but
But yeah, he
he's-
can't fight it with his hand strength.
he's got this problem with that degenerative nerve situation going on. So he's had to relearn how to ride the motorcycle for Adam.
I have that in my penis.
In the situation of Jet, here's where I'm going to counteract what Stretch just said. Jet is actually doing the line watching of everyone else in qualifying, in time trial qualifying. He is watching everybody else's lines. He's doing the exact same thing that Eli Tomac has taught everybody to do, which is don't go out and push it as soon as you just jump on the track and go. Watch what everyone else is doing. Find the lines. See where the line is. Understand that this is going to be your path, and then get your whole shot. Grab that line and then go.
He manages the cushion, not the race, is what he does.
And he's really smart about it. And I have to say, that is a sign of a sage, young, very smart-minded individual. He's learned.
Just the cardio, like he's just not working hard.
No.
You know?
That
he's
bike
really
is
smart.
really set up.
Staying
though.
on the pegs, just making sure. And he's
The
not going super
I'm-
fast through there, but he's keeping his momentum.
I'm going to say that this is something that a lot of people don't understand out in Radioland, but the race teams themselves don't manage their suspension necessarily. And in the case of HRC, they bring Showa corporate in to run their suspension on their bikes. And they have done such an amazing job of setting up his suspension. I have not seen any problems with his suspension whatsoever. And
Same
this
thing
is
with Eli.
This is the other thing I will say about Adam Cianciarillo. The biggest difference, other than his riding technique, look at his suspension setup. For the first time in a long time, I've looked at Adam's bike as he's riding. The bike is tracking with Adam. Whoever is doing his suspension setup is doing it right over at Kawasaki. Right. They're paying attention. I don't know if they've got Bones doing it. I don't know if they brought in somebody from Showa to do it. But whoever's doing it now is doing it the right way.
Why didn't he learn from Eli? He was riding under Eli for a long time, and Eli's the master of the suspension game.
A lot of these guys were really, really pig-headed, and understand that at Kawasaki, in that world, they run with both KYB and with Showa. They dance between both brands of suspension. Unlike Yamaha, which Yamaha is KYB, period, end of discussion. Nobody's doing anything with another brand. Suzuki is going to be all Showa. Honda is going to be all Showa. Cowie runs both. Yamaha runs KYB.
Yeah.
So this is funny. This is kind of my moto Franken bike this week.
Yep.
I took the Works suspension off my Honda 450, right?
Yep.
And you put it on Coleman?
And I put it on the L model.
Ooh, good call.
Good call.
Good call. That made the L into a whole different rideability.
Dude, it's freaking. I'm ready to go to the track on the L now.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I got a big desert tank.
The L,
I'm gonna show up to Kuya this week or whenever.
The L is nothing more. The Honda did the L right. That's a really good bike actually.
Yeah.
But
and it's got the wide ratio transmission.
It's
got
that suspension is going to make that whole different bike right now.
Yeah, it's got the wide ratio transmission in it too.
Yep.
So
You know what's one thing I noticed when we were out at Pala for round one, and that lends some credibility to what you just said about Jet, is so they have this practice lap right now. The 250 guys are out on the track doing the little warm-up practice laps.
Yep.
And I was standing there watching as everyone went by, and I filmed. and I noticed when the pack blew by me because you're at the starting line lined up, but you're not in the starting gate, and then it's kind of like a practice start. They all launch out, and when the pack went by me, Jet Lawrence was not in it.
No.
And then all of a sudden, a couple minutes later, Jet Lawrence just goes blooping by, blah, 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 and he did a real slow one, and then he caught up to the pack and then watched people. And I could tell he was watching people.
That's all he's doing.
Yeah, he never shot out front and tried to lead at all in that practice lap. He was just watching people and cruising around and getting to know the track, and then voila, he wins.
He's just paying attention. That's all he's doing.
Watch a couple of these guys, they'll stand on their pegs, though. They're going to be doing that more, I think. They're definitely following his traits.
AP's going to do that because he still has nightmares about that Supercross crash.
See?
He brought that up in the interview with Moto before the season even, and you didn't bring it up when you talked to him. When you interviewed AP, he brought up, well, you like kind of remember what happened. You're like, yeah.
Well, it was kind of funny that I like the fact that when he overshot the corner. I thought that was hilarious. It's like, good job,
funny.
AP. And he was. I said it to him even right then. He was just laughing. He goes, yeah, dude. Sometimes I just overshoot the corner. You know, whatever.
What happened?
Whatever.
He shot straight up a berm and took out a cameraman. It was brutal.
Yeah, he was just going fast. Figured, I didn't even need to worry about turning right here. I'm just
What's weird though? Everyone's had that moment just riding, and I don't care if you're on a trail or whatever, where you're doing something and you mismanage and you realize, wow, I'm not gonna make this turn. Like I'm going too fast, or I'm just gonna go off the edge of this, and you start then plotting how you're gonna crash.
That's the story of your brother.
Yeah.
At this speed, though, that could be any time, any corner.
Anytime you're going so fast, you're like, oh crap, I'm just going. Okay, here comes crash. Oh, here we go. Bam.
That's the story of Buzz Roberts right there.
That's why the Adam C gloves are going to.
That's why he's so stupid.
Or
I don't think he had a helmet on always either.
I don't know how many concussions Buzz has had, but I will say this: he was known for blowing through corners. It was just like, oh, whatever.
It's because he was always fat.
I just got to go straight. I just want to go straight fast.
God.
Right.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what's weird?
Pit racer.
It's his inside Seth Enslow.
He's a pit racer.
Yeah.
Go.
I think World Supercross has done themselves a disservice by canceling that round 2. They really, really did, because it's 91 days until they get round 2 in from round 1 last weekend, and we're all going to forget about it. And then all of a sudden, outdoor season is getting way more interesting with the points and the shuffling and all that. Like, this is the greatest thing that could have happened to pro motocross, is them getting that 91-day break.
They definitely needed that. I can tell you right now, that was the best thing that's happened so far in the entire season, was the fact that they stopped the momentum on
Yeah.
They would have been smart if they would have done like week to week, but
they needed to really bang it out, is what they needed to do. And I think they were playing games trying to mess with the World Supercross season, or I'm sorry, the Super Motocross season at the end, and then in doing that, they screwed themselves.
Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to jump
into
into a HYR spot, and then we'll play a Motorhead song, and we'll be back after this. It's a Big 49.